All right, welcome back, everybody. Talmin Legends, session 5. Holy smokes, we're here. We're in it. We're gonna be doing something new and letting the players break everything down. So, Valen, why don't you let us or fill us in on what happened last time?
I would love to. So I know that we, as a party, headed towards the bakery where we were told we could find Twala, the centaur ex-lover of the druid. We're trying to find Valletta to see if we can kind of suss out his whereabouts. With some convincing, she managed to let us know that he traveled and was trying to get her to travel north towards the woods, just south of the Crystal Shoals. So that's kind of where our heading is at the moment. But we decided to act on a mysterious note we found in a wine cask in the cellar of the Goldthorns that made mention of the secret organization that at the time we thought maybe had some connections with this whole sleeping problem. So after some debates, we decided to don the masks and the cloaks that we also discovered on our way out of their establishment, and went in disguise to this midnight meeting in the indoor garden area where everyone else was clearly cloaked and masked. And a lot of high nobles in there. A little weird vibe going on. We wound up as the new members apparently being asked to uh, participate in the main event, which apparently involved sacrificing prisoners of the Empire to some god who we later found to be one known as Barnabas, the god of greed and gluttony. Um, However, the transaction didn't go too well. I guess the Goldthorns that were running that didn't do a great job, and they were Thanos snapped to God knows where. And for us, he noticed that we actually carried hero tokens, things that we had earned from killing uh, the world equivalent of Santa Claus in a previous session. And as a result, he was able to allow us to use those hero tokens to claim some kind of random magical artifact of some kind. So we all got something from that transaction. Upon his departure, we told the rest of the group that the Goldthorns messed something up and are not worthy of their high status, as the Islandiers clearly are. And so we were able to leave the party, which I believe ended in some kind of orgy. I assume we all left to not really partake in that, but maybe someone will chime in or change their mind.
Hell
Um,
no.
Bravely assume that we all left.
yeah, I can't speak for Hal, but you
I
know,
think Hal's still there at the orgy.
he might be. And to be fair, I do believe the curse he had on him that had made him a kind of a childlike version of himself did get remedied by Barnabas, thanks to a good persuasion check. So he's back to his normal self, as normal as that. And then we headed
I
back. And,
vote for the left hall in the orgy, like leave him there forever.
I do recall his large furry stature was a point of interest with many of the folk there.
That was great. So yeah, in a nutshell, that was Valen's perspective on everything. That was great. So here we are. We went back to the end after this orgy. And you guys all took a nice little rest, a long rest. If you haven't already, go ahead and do so. But with that, I will go ahead. Let's unpause the game. Let's start our there it is. And let's go ahead and travel back here where we left off. It's a brand new day. The sun is shining through the windows, nice orange glow. It's early morning. But as you all awake and you stretch and you start stepping out of your rooms, you feel deep in your muscle tissues just tiredness, like they're sore. You yawn and your whole body kind of slumps. And you notice that even though you got a good night's rest, 12 plus hours, you still feel tired and groggy, more so than you did the day before. But with that, good morning, everybody. What would you like to do?
First, brew breakfast tea. That is the first thing I'm going.
I want to remember everyone that Tuala gave us some kind of pendant that his lover gave it to her, and that pendant will lead us in the right direction when we would be close to Valletta. So yeah, we have like a good lead to where to find that center and well, see if what he says is true or not. Oh my god, the baby. Ah,
So basically, test to see if the pendant works or not.
yeah, but I think that well, let me see. I have my notes here, but I'm pretty sure that she said that it would uh, only work when within some range of Valletta's on pendant. So yeah, right.
Well, oh, go ahead.
Now I was just actually just going to say that I am going to grab some candies and I will be back.
And then while Felix is getting, you said breakfast tea?
Yes.
While that's brewing and whatnot, I think it's been a minute since Tara kind of went through her, like Tarot deck, or Taraka deck. So I'm going to pull that out and start doing like a reading for myself and kind of just practicing and looking through the cards.
Felix, you do brew a successful batch of tea, and if you look in your inventory, you will notice you now have a delicious cup of tea. Hot and steamy and just oh so good.
Felix will just go around first to Valen and offer a cup of tea, and then to Tara and offer a cup of tea to them.
Is this caffeinated?
No, I don't see any reason to. It only has a little bit of good herbs, good spices, and, well, of course, my heart and soul in it. That should be enough, right?
That depends. Does your heart and soul have caffeine?
When I was younger, it might have.
I'm sure it will do. Except, I think up to the point where Felix came by to drop off the tea, Valen will be kind of eyeballing whatever the heck Tara is doing over there, and I don't think he's familiar with Taroka decks. So I think at some point he'll kind of call over to her and say, "What is that exactly?"
Thank you, Felix. That's lovely. It's a fortune reading kind of thing, if you believe in
Back.
such activities. Would you like a reading for fun? I'm still learning. I'm not the best at it, but it's interesting sometimes.
Is it some form of magic like that you performed last night? And by that, I mean the telepathy that you performed. The audience.
For the audience. It's no, this isn't magic per se. It's more of fate, if you believe in that. You choose cards, 3, and based on what you choose and actually the direction that they face, it provides a story. What you might be dealing with or looking towards, or you can ask questions. I just kind of like spread the deck out in front of him. Just try choosing 3. We'll see what happens.
Must I ask a question first?
I mean, you don't have to.
Oh, okay, I will.
So we'll roll 1, 2, and 3. And then Valen, what I'll ask you to do, if you can, there's actually a D2, which is perfect. Can you roll that 3 times?
That is a 1, 1, and a 2.
1, 1, 2. So upright, upright, and reversed. Okay, so judgment is your first card. Do you have a question? Is there anything you want to ask about your present or your future, or fortune or relationships?
All right, I'll play along. Well, let's see. Will House Eilundir once again be the pinnacle of high society in the capital city?
Okay. We got the Judgment card, which is reflection and reckoning and awakening. But that's also with the Chariot, which means direction, control, and willpower. So awakening control, awakening willpower, direction. So it seems like perhaps you might be leading House Islandier in a new direction. But your last one is the Tower, and that one was reversed. Oh, disaster avoided, or delayed disaster at the very least, but also with the fear of suffering. So, based on your question, signs do seem to point towards you avoiding or delaying disaster and pointing your house and your name in a new direction.
Well, I'm not entirely sure about the disaster, but fortunately, I asked you a question I already knew the answer to. So the rest of what you've given does seem to line up with that. So perhaps there is some truth to these playing cards here.
That might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me. I accept the compliment. Thank you.
While they're having a conversation, I'll just have Felix gently tap Jinshi on the side of his chin and say, wait, lad, why don't we leave the lovely folks to have their fun with their cards? Maybe you and I can have a small little talk outside.
Yeah, well, I don't want to interrupt or anything, so let the talk.
Oh, I'll just lead Jinshi outside real quick, just for a
Yeah.
little bit.
I will follow Felix casually, like just like we are just like heading out for a walk, like nothing that I want to give the couple some privacy, not at all. But
Felix
then,
will
these cards are amazing.
Felix will gently sit down, kind of against the wall of the establishment, and he'll start getting some tea supplies ready again. And he'll look over to Jinsi and say, "Has everything been all right with you, laddie?"
Yes, I had a good night of sleep, so yeah, I think everything is in place now.
It's good that you had rest. That's good to hear, but that's not really what I'm talking about. If you catch my meaning, I think last night something happened, and well, you know me, I would like to help.
Yeah. Last night was a reminder of some kind of life I left behind, and well, that was a moment of weakness, and I assure you that this will not happen again.
Called a moment of weakness, laddie. Are you sure?
Yeah, just well, some memories, some sparkle in my mind, and not the best memories I have. So yeah, but it was I don't know, a moment of weakness and careless, and that will not. I assure you. Next time I will be ready for fight, and my mind will be clear. I promise.
I'm gonna make another cup of tea and gently hand it to Jinshi and say, "Wait, lad.
I gladly accept. Do you want some peppermint?
Here, I'll drop one off.
I'll gently take the peppermint as a trade, but then I look over to Jinshi and say,
Oh, it's not like the common peppermint. It's like a great club made of peppermint.
"No."
I have been trying to eat this, but it's too hard.
Lad, I just want you to know that you don't have to put on this face or put on that fancy little mask that you put all around your face and say that what you went through last night is a moment of weakness. And you'll just gently sit down again and you'll say, every now and then, folks like us who carry the sword come across things that we can't simply parry or strike or pierce or cut through and slash.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem. There is some things that I can't like just cut straight with my sword. There's some problems that I can deal with the brute strength of a soldier, and that's what scares most in my life.
Do you want to be a soldier, laddie? Do you want to still be like this, even though you find moments of weakness?
Well, I think that there was not much a choice. for me. When I became a soldier, it was like the life of soldier or something even worse. And well, at least I was a soldier, as a samurai, serving my empire, serving their people. It was something that gave me a higher purpose, something to die for. And I am grateful for that. Well, even now that I know that my empire, well, deal with things that are far worse and shady than I talked before. Like every government, like hide secrets people through. But what we saw in that cult-like thing, like that orgy, bar the beast, that went far more than what I used to believe, what I used to fight for. Like, look at this, and I will slowly pull my sleeve and show Felix my protected army, just like yours. And I lost my army fighting for this country, and well, some people lost even more family, their own lives, and all of that for what?
You got a good heart, lad, but I hate to see you chalk this all up to fighting for your empire and for, I guess you could say, your weakness. I hear these words that you're saying, and I hear good things, very good things. How much you're willing to fight for the people, how much you're willing to fight for the freedom of others, but there's some things that you've done that, or I guess you contradictory to that. You give Hal the run around sometimes, you tend to talk to people as if you're looking down on them. Are you really as focused as you are to the freedom of others, or are you more focused to your empire and what they... It's hard, I know, and you might not have an answer right now, and if you don't have an answer, that's fine. I wouldn't mind having more talks like this with you to give you a hand, but I do need to tell you, I fought exactly like you, and I lost an arm exactly like you. You're a lot luckier than me that you get something than nothing, but maybe there's something better that you can do with your two hands and your sword for the good people here, rather than just being a soldier for the empire that you've seen now is not so kind to others and their...
Felix, in this, I'm searching for someone who killed battalion, and I think that this deal with freedom and people, like, I'm just faking, searching for vengeance. And when I fight them, when I kill that woman, I don't know what will happen next, but I probably not fight for this empire anymore.
It's a rough thing you're gonna go through, laddie, and I feel like it's a very complicated thing you're gonna have to think about, but rest assured, and he gets up, I will be around for you, and I'll be able to give you a hand with a few things. I'm
Well-
not gonna tell you what's wrong or right on this, because it's more for you, but I'm more than willing to help you work through it, and maybe teach you a thing or two that I could pass on to you.
I will gladly accept whatever master you have to teach me. And well, we both have like just one hand. Let's work together to have like, two arms.
You know they lovingly say two eyes are better than one, but for our little sake, we can just say having two arms is better than one.
Yeah, sure. Now let's just head inside before the couple kiss. I don't want to miss that kiss, believe me.
Oh, hush! Don't be rushing them. They'll be with each other
I
when
ship-
they decide to.
I ship them so hard, like I want to
Dude.
see that first kiss, when it
Then-
happens. It's not a matter of if, it's now a matter of when.
Aye, but don't be going sticking your nose where you don't belong. It's a good set of flowers that those two are setting up for themselves, but it's not yours to go around sniffing.
Right, sure, I could teach Veiling one thing or two, but I will just wait and see. It will be funnier.
All right then, just stay out of their business. Yes.
I will try. I'll not promise anything.
I open the door for Jinsey and let him back in.
Yes, let's go.
As they come back in, Valen's going to whisper to Tara, "It's a good thing they got there alone. I sense the thing between them after some time. You're back. I see. How was your
Oh, hey.
interview?
Well, less of an interview, more of some tea time and a one-on-one with each other.
Well, I'm glad you were able to find time for that. It's
Yeah,
important.
you know, military talk.
More,
Quality
and more.
time is very important in any kind of uh, friendship.
I could say the same for you and Vaden. I will wink for Tara, like, yeah, friendship, something more. Go here, he's yours.
Sexual
look,
tension in this
we-
room is thick.
we should have not seen Georgie. Here, we
yeah.
should probably figure out what we're.
I would probably I would probably perform well on the orgy, but yeah, that's another matter.
Just because you have multi-attack. Anyway, we should probably figure out how we're going to handle endeavors today. If I'm not mistaken, we do have a heading. Find this druid, right? Northward.
I mean, we got a lot ahead of us to get for preparations.
Yeah, we'll need to stock up on some rations.
And are we traveling by foot or cart? Because I don't mind either. But I know some folks might want to not dirty their feet.
Yeah, Valen, how do you feel about dirtying your feet?
Oh, I wouldn't mean Vader.
Oh, wait, what?
I did. It's okay.
Well, I am not a stranger to foot travel, albeit I do enjoy the luxury and the status that riding a horse might come with. But are we in? Can we, as a group, of course, afford mounts for all of us? I mean, clearly I can, and my family.
I can't
I
ride a
have a
horse
question.
anymore.
I have a
Who
question.
says here?
My military position feature says that I can borrow some horse and that sort of stuff. Like, can I borrow some horse here and release them and the Crystal Shoals for our
What skill is that?
the military position. My background feature. Let me. I'm sorry. It is right here, John. Military rank, right here. Yeah, you can invoke your rank to exert influence over the soldier in the position, systems, equipment, or horses for temporary use.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it'd be a good. We'd have to find out, wouldn't we?
Yes.
I mean,
I suppose.
yeah.
I suppose we could
suppose
go
I-
over back to the barracks if you believe that would work, Shinji.
Yeah, I believe I can find us some horses. Well, not sure, but I mean,
Oh, do you think they have one of them fancy horses with the carts on the back of them? What are they called? Supply carts or something? Maybe we could ride on one of the back of those.
we could, like, since none of us here is like heavy or some sort of thing like that. Except for Haluf, but he's not here.
The
Yeah,
lad is sleeping in tonight. We should let him rest. I believe last night was really hard on him too.
Before we leave, I also still have a desire to swing the market and offload some of this thing I'll need to lug around out of town.
Aye, and I need to get some more food from Nal over there so that I'm well prepared for the journey. So you all get your things packed. Papa Felix is gonna go get some food.
I think I can gather some other travel equipments, like anything that we might need, like shovels, crowbars, and that sort of thing. And we gather up here at the end of the day.
DM, do we know roughly like how many days travel it is from here to the city to the north? Obviously we're not going quite that far, but we have like a ballpark on like how long it would take to get to the general area we're trying to head to.
Yeah. If you were going to here, let me pull up a map of. I guess I can go. So from there to there, I would say. Well, it also just depends on if you guys are going to be going on mount or on foot. If you guys are going on mount, that's cool. You guys just have to figure out where and how to get your in your carriages and all. But I would say if you were going on foot, it would probably take you, I don't know, a 3-4 days, so you'd probably be doing a trek at that point, which a standard trek with no bumps in the road is about 30 food rations.
I didn't think about this, but does Crystal Shoals have a adjacent port or harbor, and we could travel by boat?
You could ask. I mean, yes, it does. I would say the people that would be familiar with Valmartyr would probably be Valen, Jinshi.
Right.
So
It would be safe to assume, though, I imagine, to charter a boat, unless we have a sailor amongst us, might incur an additional cost, whereas simply traveling, especially if we can get resources from.
Yep, and well, now mechanically, I have proficiency in land vehicles because so your background. So I think that's better for us to travel through land with a cart if we can.
So to answer all those questions, yes, if you travel by cart or you have the military perk, it would definitely could provide fruitful for you in some sort of way. I don't really know. We'll just have to play with it and figure it out along the way. And then in terms of the ship, unless because none of you guys in your background have really had anything to do with sailors. So I would say if you guys are sailing a ship that long of a voyage, you probably need to figure out some sort of ship. But how you get to these places, that's up to you guys. You guys got to get creative. You got a whole city of resources to figure. If that answers any question.
That does not, Isaac. But thank you.
Well, I will let you all ponder that, but for the time being, I am going to head out of the market. It's too crowded. Anyone would like to join me to offload some of the other trinkets they've come across in our brief adventure so far? You're more than welcome to.
I am willing to follow.
I will head to the Watsky and see if I can borrow some horses, perhaps a cart, or a wagon for we to make our trip.
Yeah, I'll tag along to the market. I've got a breastplate, I think I've been carrying around for weeks.
So in regards to splitting up the party, we can go do both of those tasks, but there really isn't a good way for us to split. So let's try to decide one task to do, and then as like a group. If that makes sense.
Are you willing to go to the market first, Jinshi, and then we can go to the fancy barracks, see if we can get some horses?
Yeah.
Or carriage.
That makes sense.
Hey, and we all go to the market, then the barrack, and then we rendezvous back here, and we head over to the Crystal Shoals.
All right. So we all leave back out to the city map. Where were you guys last time? So you guys are now. Hal's no longer here. You guys all wake up over here at the inn and are traveling. All right. You guys all travel to the trader.
All right.
Felix. All right.
Up and there he goes, to Phelan.
There we go.
What happened to Valen?
I think he moved.
Are you guys all here?
Yeah, we are. Just that the
Yeah.
token accidentally moved all the way to the right.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm changing the baby, so I'm on my phone for a hot second.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, you guys come up to the trader. It's a small little hut. You guys open the doors and you see shelves lined to the brim with all sorts of different things, food and survival equipment and all sorts of good trader stuff. And you see sitting behind the counter a young adult elf, who sees you come in and
Hi, good morning to you, laddie. My name's Felix. These are my friends, Terra, Jinshi, and Valen. We're here to make a good sale with a few things we've procured.
The trader looks at you, Hammond, and he goes, "Oh yes, I love to make a deal. We've actually been quite low on supplies. Everybody at the docks has been under the weather lately, and it's been really difficult to get supplies. Anything you have, if I have coin, I'll take it off of your hands."
Hey, perfect. And you wouldn't mind us looking around and procuring things that we like seeing here, would you?
He goes, "Of course not. If you come within one tile of my character and double click, you can see everything I have for sale."
Alright, Felix is going to be busy talking with with Hammond for a little bit then.
Gammon looks over at Terra, and he just says, "Oh my!" And he's young. He's like a real young elf, like freshly maybe 18 or 19. He starts making eyes at Terra, and then he like swiftly tries to make like this flirty conversation, and is just like, "I haven't seen you around these parts before. Usually humans aren't in the city. Everybody thinks I'm weird for wanting to talk to humans." And he's just all like nervous, looking at you.
Well, aren't you just the sweetest?
He goes, "Yeah, I am. My mom says I am the sweetest. I am the sweetest little pointy-ear boy in the whole world." That's what she does say.
I
He's
believe
like-
it.
He's like all flirty and shy and nervous. What's the word I'm looking for when you're all like, "Oh."
Like flustered and
Yeah, he's those things.
Felix is just gonna look up at Tara and give him like a kind of a sly, give her a sly smile, like this guy.
Is she just playing into it? I'm like buying food from him, and I'm not gonna try to like get better prices because he's just a kid. But I'll absolutely just be like, oh yeah, just the sweetest, just the cutest.
He's happy. He proceeds to tell you a story of his very first girlfriend, who was human, but when his friends all found out he was dating a human, they beat him up real bad and put him in the hospital for weeks. And his parents told him never to see a human ever again. So, as much as he would love to go on a date with you, he can't.
Well, I wouldn't want to put your health at risk.
He says, "Oh no,
so we'll,
for my health, yeah."
yeah, we'll just have to, as tough as it might be.
He just looks at you guys and he tells you a story. He's like, "One day my dad says I'm gonna be with a strong, proud, and all elf woman."
Oh, so that's what you want?
And he looks and he goes, "No." And he starts telling you the story about how he's really attracted to human women. He thinks they're just beautiful and their soft, pale tones on their skin. And they drive him crazy. But you could never be from a proud and all elf family and be with a human. It's unheard of.
Well, if you ever want to, you can go over to Adoria and you can move in there. Marry your own human if you find a nice girl. Just make sure you treat her well and you'll be nice to her.
He looks and he goes, "Adoria," and he rolls his eyes. He's like, "That trash heap." He goes, "All the elves there live in the forest amongst the trees. Some of them don't even wear shoes."
Oh, even when I lived there, I didn't wear shoes. It was quite nice on the toes.
Ugh, he just makes a face. He goes, "It's
It's
okay."
Don't pay attention to him, Felix. If we're going to pay attention to everyone in Valmatier that is racist, you will be very bad waters.
What do you mean, where's the traitor, Valen? Can you not see him?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know why sometimes it doesn't pull you guys into the traitors. As you guys are in this conversation about elves in Adoria and whatnot, he kind of just whispers at you guys. He's like, all my friends say that it's not going to be too long before we own Adoria. He kind of gets all smirky. He says, "Some people say the Empire is going to take it."
Aye, from one to another who's lived there their entire lives, it's something that they've always said and thrown around, though we always laugh and invite them to a drink and they always seem to forget their troubles.
He just looks at you and he's like, "Have you not been south lately, down to Cone? They have a massive army of ships, the largest army of ships the world has ever seen, some just sitting there. What do you think that could be about, huh? Adoria doesn't have ships like that." And he's like he's really proud and prestigious about it. Like talking about it gives him a great sense of like pride. Like his adult pride, his ego is like stroked,
Well, hopefully they decide against it. The last thing I believe this beautiful empire needs is widows and fatherless children.
He just looks over and he's just like, "Yeah, I can't lie. I'm not a huge fan of war and all of the killing." He's just like, "But it's like all the old elves say that we are the first race and we are the rightful rulers of Talmin. So as if this is something that all elves are just like kind of aware of.
Yeah.
I'll take that back from the counter.
You are right. You are right. War is shit. Don't do war.
Where are you, Jinshi? Are you not in here anymore? Here, I put
No,
your-
he's just behind Terra.
I mean,
Oh, I see.
Sorry,
I see. I
Tara.
see.
because I am trying to shop with, like, I am really inclined to sell Joybringer's cap because it's worth like 200 gold piece. But yeah, right.
Hey, DM, does the portable campsite, does that include a bedroll or is that separate?
I would say that it would probably be separate. I forget where my head was at when I originally.
I thought that was separate because I bought the bedroll because I was thinking the campsite is just the tent that you set up. It probably doesn't come with a bedroll.
Yeah, it's like the tent and little portable chairs and maybe like a little campfire. I would say the bedroll is probably separated. When you guys are on a journey, regardless of however many days it takes, I guess it wouldn't affect you if you didn't have a bedroll because you're not going to be like long resting every single one of those days. It would more so be like you guys are deep in a dungeon or something like that and you guys need to long rest. You need to bring that stuff with you in order
Sure.
to be able to like set safe place to rest.
Right. I want to buy some adventure gear, and that is a shovel. I don't know what the price is exactly, but I like to buy a shovel, climber's kit, run portable, and I don't know the name in English, but it's something that allows me to lift and hoist 4 times. Here the name, because I don't know the name in English.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. But the trader looks at you as you're saying all this and he just kind of shrugs and he says, I don't sell anything like that. He's like, that all sounds like stuff the blacksmith would sell.
So to
I will
confirm,
be right back.
we're probably going to need about at least 30 rations for the trek we're about to go on, correct? Depending on weather conditions.
Yep, exactly. If everything goes well, it's going to be about 30 food rations. But I would maybe bring another 10 to 15 extra just in case you guys run into some bumps in the road. Because like I said, it is going to be about, I'm going to say it's a 3-day trip.
Okay, don't mind me. I need to.
No, it's okay. And then keep me informed with how it feels with you guys in terms of like the economy. Because the reason why I have food rations and everything, the consumption is so high on them is because not only are you guys finding food rations when you're like searching shelves and food pantries and stuff, you guys can find a decent amount there. But it's like it's just like resources for you guys to spend your gold on. You know what I mean? So I want to make it so when you guys are traveling, it's not consuming, like you guys are not going broke over trying to just fucking buy food rations. I still want you guys to be able to like save up and buy some big stuff like property and whatnot down the way. So let me know how you guys feel about the economy. Trader looks at you guys buying all this food. He goes, oh man, are you guys throwing a party? We need all this food for.
We're going on quite a trek over to the next city, so we're gonna need all that we can eat.
He goes, oh, gala, I hear it's nice this time of year. Yeah, the trees are in full bloom.
I wish it was gala, but we're heading over to the Crystal Shoals, right up north.
Oh, Crystal Shoals, that's even nicer. It's like, I wish I could afford to go to Crystal Shoals. Everyone says that the beaches and the resorts there are unlike anything else on Talmin.
What else is worth going there? Do you know any good taverns or any good inns that is worth looking at?
He looks at you and he says, well, as far as I know, ever since the one family that I don't have a name for yet moved in and took over the resort, they've purposely been shutting down all the taverns. So for the folks that visit, you're kind of like driven to the resort itself instead of bars. It's like, but the inn still stands, but even that's hanging on by the last leg, I hear. The resort, it's nice, but for the town itself, it's bleeding them dry.
Heartbreaking to hear.
He says, oh, what can you do? All these folks coming from all across the place just to go to this fancy smancy resort and relax. He's like, for the locals that have been there forever, it's really hurting their way of life. bleeding the economy dry, turning it into a tourist market. People are being driven from their homes. It's terrible. He's like, but I hear they have really nice pools. Some of the cleanest around.
They are quite nice, if I remember. I used to summer up there in past years. Water is clear as cyan crystal.
He says, oh yes, I hope to go one day when I earn enough. But unfortunately with mom and dad under the weather, it's up to me to run the store. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be feeling all right soon. I'm sure of it.
Have they too?
He looks and he says, no, it's not that. It can't be that. They're just a little sick and they just are a little tired. It's just, but they haven't been affected by that. They'll be all right. And he kind of gets all like freaked out.
No, of course. I'm sure they're just overworked. You know, it's all running a shop of this caliber.
He's like, yeah, and they'll figure out a cure for the sleep. Like, it's just not gonna affect all of us, right? Like, I don't feel tired. And as you say that, you notice like big bags under his eyes. He says, it's not affecting me at all.
No, well, just in case, you may wish to seek out the alchemist. We hear he got some more supplies for slumber potions on occasion, just in case.
He tells you, he's like, well, I can't. I'm afraid to go to the alchemist. Lately, if you anywhere you go near, or anytime you go near him, it's just a mob outside. And last time I got beat up, they broke my thumb. And he like holds up his hand, and you notice it's all wrapped up. It's like I almost got trampled. I'm just a mere small, sleek little, beautiful Analt elf.
Look, I don't appreciate your own self-description. I think I've got everything I need, fellas.
I have everything that I need.
All right. Are we all done in the merchant? Or
Before
Trevor?
we leave, I linger and let everyone walk ahead of me, and I just drop him like 5 gold pieces on the counter. Use that to take care of yourself and your family, all right?
Oh,
He just tears up and looks up at you, and he goes, "Thank you. This is more than I could have asked for. You guys came in and bought so much of our supplies today. We've been struggling for so long. This helped so much. Thank you." And he doesn't really know what to say, but because of your kind services, the gods smile, and they award you an inspiration point. All right. He just kind of goes over here, so happy and cheerful. And as he walks over here, he's just like, I think that means she's my girlfriend. But he's like saying it under his breath, like he's afraid for you to hear him. He's just like, yes.
I absolutely pretend I don't hear him and just keep walking.
Mom, Dad, I have a girlfriend.
She's human.
Oh wait, they're sleeping.
Here, let's sleep.
Aye, men can be a little bit silly, can't they?
All right, so we're going to go back to the city. You guys are outside. You have the supplies to start your journey. But if there's any business that you guys want to deal with in Moon Harbor, you guys will be back to Moon Harbor. But if there's anywhere you want to explore that you haven't been yet, or any business that you want to do, now is your time to do it.
We might as well head over to the keep, see if we can get some horses with Jinshi's requisition. Is there anything else you would all want to do before you leave? Galen, is there anything from your fancy house of yours that you want to grab before you leave?
About that. For starters, and he still has the giant great axe that he pulled from Barnabas's magic box. He would like to go back and perhaps leave Hal's room. It's worth more than I think the innkeeper here could purchase it for. And for the time being, might as well equip our tank with the biggest. And I don't want to carry it around anymore. So at some point, I'll stop back by the inn to drop that off. But as far as my home is concerned, I do have things to drop off. But I can anytime.
Hey, then all we ought to do is just head to the keep, get the horses, leave the axe over at Hal's bedside. He'll probably snuggle up to it like a bear. And then we head over to your home, drop off what we need, and then we get going.
All right. So do we all want? Oh, bet. Do we all want to head back to the keep?
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
All right, everybody's here except for Jin.
Hal.
All right, you come back to the keep. The massive doors swing open, and the light reflecting off the black and yellow banners makes an indistinguishable like atmosphere of just Etherean Empire presence and elegance.
While they're entering, I will just look at everyone and just say, "Why don't you all take care of talking to the good commander and his entourage? I'm gonna stand by in one of the benches and mind my business."
Yeah, that would be best, Felix and Tara. It would be best for you to stay here as well, since you know you are not enough. You know.
I just kind of shrug at Felix and go sit with him.
We'll just take the bench over here while they get ready to talk to the Lord.
And I will like traverse the corridor with Valen at my side. And I will talk with Commander.
Valen is gonna trail like behind Jin to clearly let him. He remembers the last interaction he had with this D-bag, and he isn't necessarily fond of rekindling those conversation topics. So Jinshi is more than welcome to lead request.
I think I missed that session, but yeah. So I will like DM. Can you point me where the commander is? Like,
I was like, the commander is over here, and the lord is right here.
oh, all right. No, all right. Nice.
Can you not see the
Thank you.
map, Jin?
Well, for me, like the map is all black, but
Oh.
in terrace string, but like
Okay.
every whole view. But I will present myself towards Lord and Commander, Gaudry's brothers, I think. I will show my insignia, Lieutenant Jinshi. Hail.
He says, "Welcome back." He says, and he's like looking at Jinshi, and he's like, "Welcome back." But then he like immediately looks right past Jinshi, and he's just like, I see you've brought that Allendeer stag with you.
Yeah, he's traveling with me and is under my protection as a lieutenant. So I ask you to speak with him with some respect. He is of some of the noble families of our empire, as you well know.
He looks at you, and then he just kind of laughs and chuckles, and then proceeds to just make fun of Valen and his fall from power. He said, "You might have been one of the great families back in Etheria." He's like, "Oh, powerful and rich," and he's like waving his hands and making fun of you. And he's just like, "But then you soil it with the taint of dark magic." He's like, "And bring shame to us all, bring shame to all of the Anult." He just says, "And now you're here in my city, thinking you can just slip under the radar and start anew." It's like every tile that you walk on is sullied. He's just like, "But alas."
Oh, so dark magic is a stain to our empire? That's good to know. Anyway, I don't came here to discuss such topics, and I will not allow you to hurt the pride of my good friend here. And it will be good for you, like, to remember that when his family rises once again to glory and preeminence, that he has a very good memory, and he will remember those who helped him and those who right, Vinny?
What is that for, Valen?
That may have been my attempt to see how restrained and cool-headed Valen is trying to stay right now.
First roleplay rolls.
The Lord just kind of just breathes out. He's like, "Look, this is a time of great Anult pride." And he's just like, and regardless of your history, he's like, "You are now unfortunately one of mine living here." He's just like, "You would do well to watch yourself and not bring that same kind of taint into my city." He looks back at Jinshi and he goes, "So now, what brings you here? I am very busy, don't you see?" And as you like look around you, there isn't a single other soul in the building and nothing to do. So see, I'm very busy. I must get back to it.
Yeah, I can see that you are very busy. I am sure that the conquest of Edoria is, right on the spot, but that's not what I came here to talk about. I came here to ask my military right for horses for personal use for some time. We will release them back to the army when we reach.
The Lord looks at you and he says, "You ask this of me?" He like stands up from his throne and steps down. He says, "In a time of true disaster," he's just like, "the few horses that we have are starving right now because I don't have men to feed them. I don't have people to put in my grain silos. We don't have people to sail the ships and pull the horse carts that bring us things into our city." He's just like, "And
So
you
that
ask me to give you the last of our horses?"
so this is the might of our empire.
He looks at you and he just says, "Listen," he's like, "this disease, its word has it, it's starting to spread. Not as quickly as it is here in Moon Harbor. The Empire's thinking about quarantining the city if we can't stop this." He turns and he's just like,
Uh,
"We're in a great deal of
now
trouble."
Now, a question as a player, not as Ginshi. Like this disease that he's talking about is the one disease that we are going to deal with, right?
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
right.
he's referring to the deep sleep.
Well, we are in search of the source of the deep sleep. So, in helping us, you would be helping the entire city, and if the curse is lifted, if the problem is solved, you, as the commander, will, reap high glory and high fame.
So you tell him this, and the mention of glory and fame piques his interest just because as an adult elf.
Yeah,
And he looks at you and he just says, "You know what? That is an excellent idea that I have come up with all by myself. What do I have to lose by sending you guys out there to go deal with it? Worst case scenario, you die. And it's back to me solving it on my own. It's like, best case, you guys solve it. And then, of course, I will look like the hero to the great emperor." He says, "Oh,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
good."
that's exactly the matter. I could care not less for your position or your fame or glory. I just really need the horses.
He looks at you and he just says, "I don't know. Why don't you please roll me a persuasion check with
Ah, but
advantage?"
I have persuasion because I am a samurai.
All right. Well, you can roll it with
Yeah.
advantage because you have that
Oh,
military
thank you,
perk.
thank you. That's advantage.
Hey.
He says, I don't know." Then he rolls his.
Oh,
Ah. He looks down at the ground and looks back up at you and he says, "Those horses are dying anyways. I was going to feed them to my men, whichever ones are still awake." And he comes and he says, "If you go outside into the, what do you call those things where horses are? Stables? If you go outside, if you go outside of the barracks into the military stables, I can provision you only 2 of my horses." He's like, "The rest of them we need. I can't leave us vulnerable by giving you the last few that we have.
sure.
The last few good horses that we have."
There is more than necessary. I thank you, Commander. And well, we are in 4, so we will need a cart to make this work, or a wagon, and to make like these 2 horses carry all of us.
Lord Varian looks at you and he says, "Well, that sounds like a good problem for you to solve."
Right. Thank you. Anyway,
He rolls his
Commander,
eyes, turns to
I
his
hope
brother, and he's like, "You give him 2 good horses." They go asking for cards.
I hope for the rest of us that I don't see your face again. Well, let's head to the stable waiting. Perhaps the horses are better company.
He looks at you and he takes a step towards you and Valen. He looks at Jin and Shi and he says, "Listen, do not let me down." He says, "This is the utmost important mission in terms of Moon Harbor. And if we don't solve this and this goes to a larger scale and starts affecting the Empire, then it's not just your problem. It's my problem too. And because it's my problem, now it's your problem." And he kind of gets confused. And he goes, "Yeah," and he sticks to it. He points at you. He says, "So do good work out there and don't try not to die. Come back to me with any good news you have." He says, "What little resources we have, I might be able to provide if we can figure out what's going on. Come back and let me know with whatever you find wherever you're supposed to be going." Where did you say you were going again? And he like asks you.
At Crystal Shoals.
Ah, beautiful Crystal Shoals. I remember my time there as a boy. The beautiful ladies and the crystal clear glittery sands. He starts like reminiscing. He slumps back down all angrily and he's like, "I really need to get out again." Yeah.
Valen left before he.
I
finished
just
the
left.
first pause.
I just left. I just. I serve with the Gallows military, not Moon Harbor military. I don't own this guy shit.
All right. Do you guys want to go back out to the city?
Yeah, we have the horses, but now we need a wagon or a cart or anything like that.
All right, where are you guys at?
But we have the horse.
You guys are out here, and the stables are, probably, I don't know, at this building. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's this guy right here. You guys pull up, and he's just like,
Okay.
he's like, "Whoa, man. You gotta get so close, man." He says, "I hear that you guys
They
got
are
permission to
frustrated.
take our last 2 good horses." And he like steps to the side, and as you see behind him, the horses that unveil are the most underfed, skimpy little horses. He just looks and he's just like, it pains me to say that these are the only good horses that we have left." He says, "And it pains me even more to say," and then he looks at Tara. He's just like, "We're giving it to a band of people that travel with humans." He goes, "Take them." He like hands you 2 saddles for them.
Please keep your place, soldier. I do not talk to you yet, and I will take his saddles and his horses because I don't want to hear shit about my. You are sure they are not out, but they are my friend. Lesser friend, but yeah, nonetheless.
He just kind of like rolls his eyes. He says, "Okay, Captain. Like, how many years has it been since you've even been in the military?" He says, "A true and not
Lieutenant.
warrior stays for life."
Lieutenant, if you may.
All right. Well, you guys now have 2 little horses.
Yeah.
They will sit in this stable, and in whatever stable, I guess, city you guys travel to, so you can use them when you need them. I don't think anybody here is playing or really wants to play with like, what do they call that? Mounted mechanics and whatnot.
Yeah, no, that's just
Yeah.
for we to get faster.
Yeah, we're just going to use them for the travel mechanic that we have and any sort of like RP or fun scenarios that might
Sure.
with that.
Will we need to go ahead and purchase stuff like that for them?
I would say not. I think that's
Okay.
that's a lot. I think because they're here in the stables and you guys are like entrusting it to a stable, it's just like being taken care of. Although, like I said, they are kind of skimpy little things, so it might be smart to spend some time and beef them up because they're kind of sad looking.
I
Will we-
will offer each of them a radish.
Will we need to have like food though, like during travel for 'em, not just when able?
No, I assume the food that you guys bring, your food rations, is with too. We thought about doing some sort of like hay or horse feed mechanic, but then we decided against it. It's too many moving parts.
And it's a lot to keep track of.
So probably we will see Felix offering the horses some tea as well.
Yeah.
They munch down the radishes that you give them, and they're super happy. They haven't eaten real food in days, the Etherean soldier tells you.
It's awful to hear. Don't worry, we be taking good care of these two.
He just says, "Yeah,
I
your problem now." He points over, and he's like, "That one does nothing but fart the whole trip. So good luck with that." And as he says it, it just like farts.
I can assure that, well, with us, they will be better fed and better cared than in the stables. And besides, some exercise will make them good.
He says, "Well, good luck and good riddance." And he goes
Before we
back to
go-
post.
Hold on, before you leave, good soldier, may I have your name? I would like to report your good standing with the Lord.
And he just looks at you, and he looks around your uniform for an insignia. He says, and who are you?"
I am.
He's with me.
Oh, he looks at you, and he's like, "Oh, well then, with me. Why don't you get up on out of here before I report you to the commander?"
Valen's gonna try his best to take a good mental image of what he can get of the soldier for perhaps later purposes.
Okay.
So whatever I need to do for something like that, or if I can
Then he's going to cast the ring on
Yeah.
the soldier.
Valen's gonna
Once we
book.
got high levels.
He looks over at you, and he's just like, "The only thing I'm telling you is that my name is Greg, with 2 G's or 2 E's. Greg. I am corporal, or what's like a lower military rank? I am Private
think-
Griggs,
Yeah, private.
and I am soon to be the next rank up in a military ladder. So you best heed the name."
I shall remember it.
I will
fondly.
sure keep the name. Yeah.
He just rolls his eyes and goes back to his post, all smug and confident, like a little jerk.
All right. Well, we've got the horses. We just need a card, correct?
Hey,
I can't believe I used it to be like them. Well, but yeah, we got the horses. Why we just need a wagon. Or since
right.
Felix is small, you say that the horses are very underfed and sickly and that sort of thing. What's the chance for like 2 people riding the same horse? Like since Felix is like small, and I think that Terra and Valen are not like the most heavier peoples.
I would say that typically a horse could carry 2 people, but like I said, they are kind of malnourished at the moment, so they might be able to carry 2 people. But I would say that might be a bit of a risk on a journey this long, carrying them on their backs as opposed to in. You're more than welcome to try, and I guess we'll let the dice figure out what happens.
I
Yeah.
would like
If you guys are curious about a cart, I don't have any plans of where you guys can buy a cart, so it'll be up to you to just be like creative about it.
well, normally like these sort of things are sold in districts like near the entrance of their park. That's what I guess, like for what I remember playing Oblivion and Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I'm sorry, was that a question?
Oh
I
no,
missed
it's
that.
like just I would say that, well, probably this kind of thing are sold in districts like near the entrance of town. Like it's wagons and it's near the entrance. At least for what I played Oblivion.
Yeah. All right. So you guys just got your 2 horses. What other business would you like to attend to?
I know Valen wants to drop off the axe Kyle's room. I don't know if we need to go through the whole roleplay of it, but I meant to just give it to him because he wants to lug it around.
We'll drop it off back on him. I guess I can do it. There's Hal. He runs up and he's like, "What's up, guys?" And then he's like, "You have my axe?" And then he can drag and drop it onto him.
Oh, convenience. Yeah, you're awake. Yes, you mentioned wanting this. Where are you, Hal? Is on the player. He's not active. I can't give him the item. I can
Oh.
drop it on the ground. Can you
Here.
pick it up?
I can probably give it to him. Just force
Okay.
it. The Giant Slayer.
Yeah, Giant Slayer Great Axe.
All right. He says, "Oh, thanks. I'm in the middle of an orgy. I have to get back before they can't close it up. I'll see you guys." And he runs out and disappears. Yeah. All right. So, did we want to go ahead and head over to Valen's home?
yeah, we might as well, right?
Grab everybody up. All right, you guys take a little stroll on through. You guys are literally right now by the keep in the prettiest, most tidiest district with the trees and everything is so pristine. And you guys pass through downtown where everything is so meticulously kept. I mean, as you start approaching Valen's house, the scenery around you kind of changes. It's slummy. There's this. It has a smell. You know what I mean? Of like the streets being filled with feces and normal slum-related smells. But yes, you get to the outside of Valen's house, and you notice, for it being in the slums, it is a sizable house, and it is fairly well kept among some of the other houses near. And with that, let me get everybody here. Valen says, "Be right back. 1 sec." Well, let's wait because this is a good one for him.
Okay.
If we enter without him, it would be, like property invasion. Trespassing. So yeah. Let's just stay here. Have there. He has it. Yes.
Sorry, I'm back.
No, you're good. All right.
Uh,
Here we go. You ready?
Am I ready for this?
We'll find out. So as you step through the creaking door of the Elundir residence, a sense of faded grandeur washes over you. The house, nestled in the heart of the slums, is modest in size, yet echoes the past of wealth and high standing. Dust motes dance in the beams of light, slicing through the dim interior, revealing a mix of furnishings. Some pieces are worn and threadbare, testaments to recent hard times, while others remain a hint of their former elegance, symbols of a lost opulence. The silence in the house is almost palpable, broken only by the soft, rhythmic breathing of a young woman slumped in a chair at the dining table. As the light from the doorway sweeps across her, you notice her features are relaxed in deep sleep. Scattered on the table before her are the remnants of Kraken paraphernalia, stark reminders of the struggles faced within these walls. This scene paints a poignant picture of a family's fall from grace, their once bright future now dimmed and dusty like the forgotten corners of this solemn home. And as you guys walk in, it's dark, and like I said, dusty, and she's asleep on the table, just hunched.
I'll just put a finger up to Jinshi and Tara to stay cool.
Valen's gonna rush over to his sister, and just out of instinct, try to shake her awake and see if anything happens.
So you grab her and you shake her, and as you do, her eyes kind of flutter open. Who? Valen? And you can tell she's like all like in a like a drugged out state. She goes, what are you doing home?
Well, we're about to head out, and I needed to drop some things off. Are you? How long have you been like this?
She kind of like starts coming to, and then she looks at you and realizes what's going on, and all of a sudden her face shifts like she's nervous, and she reaches over on the table, and you see her scrounge up a little box and start stuffing weird little things inside of it, and she like closes it and kind of holds it close, and she goes, what are you doing? And she stands up and she goes, who are these people? And she trips. You can tell she's still all stumbling and not quite there yet. She runs over here.
That's right, they're with me. I got a job. You could pay well and get us in good standing with the Lord. But what are you doing? What's that box?
She looks and she goes, no, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. And she kind of tries to like walk away from you. You've never really seen your sister act like this before. Usually it's very like pleasant and embracing. She walks over and stumbles and trips. And as she does, the box goes flying over here.
Can I attempt to like at least catch her from falling to the ground?
Sure.
With my nimble reflexes.
You grab her and she doesn't quite fall on the ground, but you catch her just in time, but the box still goes flying out. And out of the box, you see you see this fly out. That flies out of the box, hits.
Oh. Now, I'll have to ask you, is this something that is unfamiliar to Valen, or is this he's not terribly surprised to see?
This is shocking news that your sister would be doing it, but you know of what this substance is. And if you want, I can roll it in chat for everybody. I don't know how I can roll it. I guess I'll just copy and paste it, huh? There you go, everybody. So yeah, that falls out of her pocket. Same with the little smoking pipe. And you rush over and you snag it up. She tries to fight you and grab it from you, but she's still like disoriented. And she goes, Valen, you weren't supposed to find that. You weren't supposed to be home.
Well, I can understand why. What in the hell are you doing with this?
She just kind of starts breaking down into tears and falls on the floor. And she says, you don't understand. You've always been the golden child, taking care of this family, out on all your adventures with all your friends, all your women. And then I'm left here now in the wake of everything to take care of the house, take care of Mom. She's like, she's been depressed. She's been asleep in that bed for almost a week now and refuses to wake up.
Valen will kind of glance over his shoulder towards towards where he knows the bedroom door to be, kind of with like a knowing glance that she's probably succumbed to it. But he'll turn back to Alora and say, Alora, you forget yourself. I am not RNL. This is Valen we're talking about. No golden child. At any rate, that doesn't explain why you've got this.
She looks and she says, look, it's been so hard lately. I just needed an escape, and I met this guy and he said that this would help me. This would help ease my mind. And it has. It really has. It's therapeutic. And she stands up and like stumbles over. She's still all messed up about it. She kind of sets herself down, you notice big bags under her eyes, and she goes, it's good for me. It helps me sleep. And she sits back down in the chair.
Felix is gonna pat Jinshi and Tara and just whisper to them and say, we should not be a part of this. Let him handle it. Come on, give him privacy. Now.
Alora turns over and she goes, and what the hell is this? And she stands up, pissed off now. Her like defeated demeanor turns to anger, and she looks and she goes, what, is this a human? She stands up and she goes, what are you doing with humans? She goes, are you sleeping with this human, Valen? She goes, ugh, and like makes a just disgusted face. And then she turns and she goes, and what is that? She goes, humans and rats. And she points over to Felix. She's just furious.
Whoever I sleep with is none of your goddamn business. Second of all, no. Well, maybe that should be first of all. Either way, I understand they're an odd sight to see in our home, but for now they are my assistants in the job I mentioned. It's going to bring us in a lot of money, a lot of good standing with the Lord, so we can get this whole mess out of the way. All right? But I need you to remain sober in order to benefit from take. Okay? You need to just whatever this is. I'm taking it. And who gave it to you? What's his name?
She just goes, no, I'm not bringing him into this. She turns away. She goes, I don't have to explain anything to you. She's like, where have you even been? Last I heard you were going to go and compete in some tournament. Next thing I know, the tournament went up in flames. Somebody died, and then you went missing. And I'm stuck here just having to help Mom. And Mom won't even talk to me. She won't even look at me. She pretends to be asleep, and she's like starts crying. She looks and she says she's been laying in that bed for a week. Nobody could be asleep that long. I think it's because she's depressed about Dad.
Look, well, I'll deal with that in a moment. First things first. Come on, just I'm going to take this, and here I want you to have this. Is a much better antidote for. And he's going to go ahead and drop. Can I just drop one potion? He's going to drop one of these. Look, this whole sleeping thing. It's not just you. It's not just spreading. That's actually my job. I'm going to save the city with that group of ne'er-do-wells outside. The time to do it. I need to make sure that you're alive by the time I get back. This crap. I can't guarantee you'll be alive when I get back. Can you just take that when you're feeling sleep or like you need? And that's a much better. Right? I know Mom's been a handful. I understand that. That's why I'm trying to make money. You know, our brother's off doing who knows what and I'm doing the best I can. All right, but I got a good job. It'll go over well. I just need to hold it together for a week. A week.
She just wipes tears from her face, and she kind of says, she's just like, listen, Valen, you don't understand. We said, we always talked about before how we were out of money, but we always had enough to put food on the table. She always looks at you, and she goes, now we're really out of money, Valen. There's nothing left. There's absolutely nothing in this house. I've had to sell off our nice furniture just to put food on the table, and there's nothing left here that I can even sell. We have nothing. We're disgraces to the Empire. And she looks and she says, and you always have these elaborate stories about how you're making money. She's like, we haven't seen a dime of that money since you've been on your adventures. She starts breaking down. She's like, I don't know how we can keep it. She's like, the soldiers come to the house every day. The bank says they're going to take it from us if we can't pay them.
All right, this should at least be enough to. I know. I just bought half the market. And he'll go ahead and I don't know how to drop raw coin.
Just subtract it from your inventory and let me know.
I'm gonna give her. I bought a lot of stuff. I'm gonna give her 20 gold pieces.
You hand out your hand and give her the 20 gold pieces, and she looks and she says, 20 pieces, Valen? She says, what have you been out doing? She's like, this will be enough to maybe get us by another month. She says, if we don't start making some real money quick, I don't know what we're going to do. And she's like, and now we need to get mom help. And she starts crying as she...
Go check on mom, and I will deal with that. And as I mentioned, as soon as I return, we'll have all the funds we need on our family name. I will make things right. Can you trust me?
She looks up at you endearingly, and she's like, uh-huh. And she like embraces you for like a hug.
He'll return. And I'm trying to think of what else I could possibly. And now I've got 2 pipes. For no other reason. He has not yet drunk it. He's going to go ahead and also give her.
All right.
A friend of mine made this. This may also help. Have this. I'll check on mom. Drop some things off in my room. May prove profitable later. As soon as I return, everything will be fixed. Okay? Don't touch that.
She looks and she says, I'll try. It's been so hard, but I'll try. She's like, as long as you try and figure out this money and housing situation before I'm going to have to go out there and work. And you know how the Analt feel about women working. And then she like proceeds to recite a little like poem thing. It's like, women work in the kitchen. Da, da, da. It's kind of like really just like derogatory and subjective.
He'll recite it with her. I'm sure he knows. Yeah, I know. All right.
Jesus.
Have a sip of this. I'll go check on mom. And I'll make everything right. Okay? Have a seat. Relax. Make sure to take that potion when you need to. It'll help. I promise.
She does. She drinks the tea and slurps the potion.
He's gonna go ahead and kind of knock instinctively first at the door, and there's no answer. So
Yep.
he'll go and creep it open and walk in. Get a look at his mother. I assume they're in the bed.
She is. She's laying there in the bed.
Can he get a little closer and just kind of ensure that that she is actually asleep and not faking it as.
So you kind of put your hand on her shoulder and you roll her over, and as you do, she just kind of flops over. She's definitely.
He'll let out kind of a solemn sigh, but not terribly surprised. He'll kind of in there and give her like a little on the forehead, backing up, kind of tucking her in, making as comfortable as you can be in a coma. Make his way back out of the room.
As you kiss her forehead, you notice that it's cold.
On that note, then he's with a bit of panic put his fingers to her pulse and the heartbeat. And well, I guess would he know? Does the other people who are affected by this are in slumber? Are they breathing? Their heart beating? Or are they like just dead?
It pretty much seems like death. Like they're just slunched over. Their heartbeat and breathing is so slow. You know what I mean? Just because it's like a super deep sleep.
Sure, but there is one.
There is.
Okay, so he would test that as a reassurance to make sure there is one with his mom.
All right. There is. Faint. You can tell though that unlike the other people that you've seen in the deep sleep, she's very far along. She looks like she's malnourished. Her lips are dry and cracked, and her tongue is like swollen. It looks like she hasn't eaten her probably days. Her face is all sunken in. She looks like she is not doing very well.
Okay. I think with that, he's gonna go. Actually, I got a water skin I usually make. Can he try to like at least make sure she's had some water today?
Sure.
Pour it in and kind of sit her up, do the whole rigmarole and help her. Hopefully get for laying her back down. Does he know enough about the slumber potion that he's got? It doesn't really help at this stage of the process, right? It's mostly to help those taken over by the effect.
Yeah, exactly. For
So,
the
yeah,
folks that are resting.
all right, he'll layer back down and kind of come out of the bedroom a little frustrated, but he'll take a second to calm his emotions and then approach his Alora. His mother is suffering from what I mentioned before. She's all right for now, but she's fed water from time.
You want me to
Look,
force feed her?
but it's that or lose her like dad. We gotta do what we gotta do. As I said, as soon as I get back, both the sleeping problem and our money problem will be solved. One more week. All right. Make sure he eats.
She looks at you and she goes, "One more week, Valen, and I'll make sure to feed Mom now that I know that she's affected by this curse. Oh, how terrible!" And she's real sad about it and beat up and disturbed. She refuses to almost believe that it's happening, but she has a lot of trust in Valen and just kind of like being hopeful on his word. And she says, "You get 1 week." She's like, "Where are you going anyway?"
We have to travel to the forest. Just maybe the culprit, or at least have it. So
The
as soon as we
forests north of. Are you going to Crystal Shoals again, Valen? And she gets all
no,
pissed
no,
off.
no. It's not like that. We're not actually going to the city. So I'm aware. We're just the woods nearby. Druids, woods makes sense, right? So that's our intention. But hey, I did get you something besides the gold. I purchased this little gift for you, and he'll show her the swashbuckler's hat and see if it's fanciful enough for her to don.
She looks at it and she goes, "Oh, Valen, this is one of those new swashbuckler caps from." And then she gives the name of some like famous elven designer. And she goes, "It's perfect." And she puts it on. She's like, "You always know what to get me." And she gives you a hug.
So he'll hug her back. You only have this so long as you stay off the Kraken. Okay, understand each other?
And she looks at you and she just kind of like pouts and she goes, "I know it was wrong, but there was nothing else I could turn to, and you were gone and I was so lost." She says, "As long as you promise to come back, I'll stay off of the Kraken, regardless of how fantastic it makes me feel on the inside, like a warm fuzzy breeze."
Yeah. Do it. Yes, I will be back. 1 week's time, I promise. I'm going to drop something off in my room, which is, by the way, still off limits. And he'll go to, I mean, I don't know if he has his own room or if he shares a room with her, but,
This would be a room.
I see. I mean, you can come in our room, but my cabin's off limits.
So
And he's in a group.
I haven't set up any of your guys' vaults yet appropriately. So if you want to just take whatever you have in your inventory and drag and drop it on the floor, it'll stay there until I get to
Oh,
the
okay.
vaults.
Okay.
So just
I'm
know that
to-
for safekeeping, it's on the floor at your house.
I'm going to leave the helmet. I have a thing I want to try doing with. All right. With one last kind of kiss on the cheek and a hug, he's gonna say his goodbyes and
You do. You leave the house. Your friends were
Oh.
outside the door listening, and they hear you approaching. And they all like snap back in like they weren't listening.
it's not nice to eavesdrop.
We are not eavesdropping, but well, I have one thing to say actually. I heard some part of the conversation, and it pains me to see your family like that lately. I think you would like, and maybe you can give this to your sister, and I will be giving Valen the Joybringer's cap that I have with me, and I will tell her like to hold this cap whenever she feels the urge to make use of that drug. This will make her feel better for a time, and I think it will help with that.
Ah, thank you, George.
Yeah, that's from when we killed Santa, but yeah, that will serve a higher purpose now.
What? You have more gifts for me? What?
Yes, actually, this is a gift from one of our company. In fact, it's a good show of faith. This hat has been magically enchanted to perhaps fill that hole in your heart the Kraken was.
She
Hang on,
says,
I will-
"Oh, I love gifts. Gifts are my favorite thing." And she does like a little happy dance. And she looks and she says, "Which one of your friends is responsible?"
Felix, I point. towards Felix. Felix, he's the one irresponsible.
The little one?
Yep.
She walks over to Felix with like kind of this nervous face, and she goes, "Thank you." And she like, tries to hug you, but then doesn't. Tries to get in again and sniffs, and you're kind of like smelly, so she backs off. And she just goes, "That was really nice." And she like puts her thumbs up.
Am I able to make a sleight of hand check while she's trying to hug?
Yeah.
I want to see something. Come on. I'm gonna fuck it. I'll use a point of luck for that to re-roll that. Hang on, I want to try something. That's better.
All right.
While she reaches in, Felix is just gonna like flick his left paw. I am going to secretly plant 125 gold in her pocket.
Okay. She looks. She goes, "That was weird, but thank you, little rat person." And she comes over and she like looks at Tara. She looks at Jinshi and like endearingly, and looks at Felix endearingly, and then just looks at Tara, kind of weird. She like looks over and she just goes, "I normally don't like humans. You guys kind of have this pungent smell to you, but if you make my brother happy, then I guess I can suck it up."
Just take the gold.
Thank you.
Just go with the flow. Tara, please.
Thank you.
And she looks at you and she says, "Oh, don't thank people. It makes you seem desperate." And she like walks away.
Well, fuck me then, I guess.
All right, Alora goes back inside, wearing the Joybringer's cap.
Nice. And I will turn to Vaylin again and say, "Yeah, I know what you are trying to do, what you have been forced to do, Vaylin. And, well, you are just someone trying to protect your family. I did the same thing for my brother, and I will do the same thing time and time again if need. So, let's just get this curse lifted and help your mother."
Yes, I appreciate that. But let's change the subject, shall we? Let's mosey on to the things, important tasks we gotta do. We still gotta get a cart and all that.
Hey.
Yes, Felix?
Oh no, he was just confirming what Valen wanted to do.
Sure.
All right.
Let's search for a wagon then.
Well, you guys all witnessed and met Valen's family on his trip to his home. And now only one task is left. I guess 2 tasks. You guys can finish exploring. So traditionally, what the Adventurers Guild is going to be in cities that you visit is that's going to be somewhere you can go and collect all of that town or city side quests. So there's a main quest that you guys are going through right now, but there's also little side quests throughout the town. You guys have already found one of them at the Goldthorn Manor, but traditionally they'll all be at the Adventurers Guild. So when you guys come to a new city, I always recommend going to the Adventurers Guild and like picking up your mission. And then yeah, I think there's another place or 2 that you guys haven't visited. Like I said, you're going to be coming back to Moon Harbor, so you guys can do those now, or you guys can do them.
Valen's mother is dying.
Yeah, we gotta go.
All right, well, you guys are in the city. You need to find yourself a cart. How do you guys think you want to do that?
So I assume there isn't like a cartwright.
A cartwright? What is that?
Yeah, a person who actually makes and then sells carts.
I would say no. I don't have anything made, but I would say that Valen, you're from this town for a little while. You would know of somebody that has one. If you just want to pick a building and show a party, I'm sure we could roleplay through it.
I'm going to assume a cartwright would be. Oh, there I am. I think this building, the square one.
All right. And you were right. It is. It's a cartwright building. You walk up and there's stacks of wooden planks and a small little forge, and carts lined up outside. And as you guys enter the building, you guys notice there's a little man in the building. He's an elf. He's not an all elf. He is a Danak elf. And he's sitting there and he's crafting away, making his carts. He turns over to you. He's just like, oh, how can I help you?
Well, we're in need of a cart, and get them from, so we hear.
He goes, oh, I'm actually the only one in town you can get them from. He says, and that's good business.
Well, by that logic, you're both the best and the worst, so perhaps just stick with one.
He goes, I suppose you're right. And he says, what kind of cart are you looking for? I sell all kinds of carts. I sell military chariots. I sell, I don't know what you would call like a warehouse kind of cart. Like a wagon that you put boxes and heavy stuff in. Over here, I have one that's for cages in case you got some prisoners. And he looks down at Felix and he's just like, I hear that your kind are fit really nicely in these cages. And he laughs. And he goes, but no, really, if he gets unruly, he won't be able to break through those.
I don't think that's necessary. But on that note, I think we mostly need a cart for simple travel. Maybe store some goods. And he'll kind of jiggle his coin purse like behind him so that the rest of the party can hear just how few coins is currently in there. As a nod to like, if we're buying a cart, someone might have to help fit the bill, which dictate what we can afford to get.
He looks over at you and he says, that pouch looks a little light there. I don't think I have any carts. He says, but your friends, maybe they have deeper pockets, huh? He says, I have the perfect cart for you. And he points, he's like, come with me. He takes you guys back down this little alley, or not this little alley, but yeah, I guess it'd be like a little alley with little carts and whatnot. And he peels around the corner and you guys see this cart before you. It's majestic. It's like perfectly polished wood canvas top. It's so elegant with like brass trim. It's so beautiful. He goes, the luxury liner 4000. This is the cart for you. Only 20,000 gold pieces. He says, go on, get inside.
Oh.
Take it for a spin. Go on. He like opens the door all slowly like a sleazy car salesman.
Well, now some of us might have slightly deeper pockets, but this is quite elaborate for our trip. Maybe a little more middle ground.
He looks and he's just kind of like exhales. He's like, of course a human would be the one to say something. And he says, what's your budget? And he kind of like holds his arms up and is just like looking at you.
Why don't you show me what you have? I'll let you know if it fits the budget.
He looks over and he says, oh, got it. Totally understand. You're on one of those kind of budgets. He's like, I might have something for you in the back. And he like pulls you guys down the little alley of carts. And he turns a new corner. And as you guys turn the corner, you see this little tiny dinky little cart that's laying on its side with one of the wheels kind of like falling off of it. The wood is all like splintered out. The planks are all like mangled and destroyed. And he walks up to it and he just kind of picks up the wheel and just jams it back in. Pop, pop, pop. Tightens a little screw. He says, yeah, something like this might be the one for you. I could let it go for probably 50 gold pieces.
I just watched you have to reattach the wheel to it, and you're trying to make me pay 50 gold for this?
He says, I don't cut deals with humans.
I don't know, guys. Maybe we don't need a cart. I think we'd be just perfectly
Okay.
fine on foot or with the
Yeah,
horses.
probably not.
This just isn't. I kind of like nudge it with the toe of my boot. This just isn't. He's obviously not listening, and he doesn't understand what I'm asking for. And we could do better walking.
And I
You
suppose
say
you're
we
kind of
could.
right.
He says, no, don't walk. No, that's not what I meant. What I meant is that if, you were one of those nasty, stinky humans like in Adoria, it'd be 50 gold pieces. For you, he looks at Terry and Felix and he goes, people, and he looks back at Jinshi and Valen and he goes, how about I could do 30 gold pieces because you're in the presence of, of higher elven people.
I want to make my liaison insignia really visible, like, on my chest, like really visible.
What are you showing him? I'm sorry.
My liaison insignia
Insignia?
really visible.
Oh, he looks over at you and he says, it's a general of the army. I'll tell you what, normally we give our veterans about a 5% discount. All right, final offer, 25 gold pieces and this puppy could be yours. And he like smacks it. As he does, the wheel falls back off and he freaks out. Like, puts it back on there and tightens the screw again.
25, and you give me the tools in case we need to fix this thing on the road.
You look-
I was going to say the same thing. I could not have said that.
He looks at you and he goes, "All right, it's a deal." He puts out his little hand.
I hesitate just for a couple of seconds, and then I shake his hand.
All right, you shake his hand. If you want to just subtract the 25 gold pieces from your inventory, and then he also
sure.
is handing you a repair kit, which is now in your inventory.
Awesome.
All right. He's like, "Well, it was nice doing business with you." He's like, "I'm not gonna lie, before I've never actually had a pleasant conversation with a human." He says, "You're all right."
Well, I'll swing back by when we're in town next time, and maybe the conversation can improve even above this one. This was interesting.
He just laughs at you and he says, "Sure, whatever you say." He looks back at Valen and he goes, "You need to keep that one in check. Can't be letting humans go around talking for you like that."
I can hear you.
He goes, "Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you were still here. Well, anyways, I'm going to get back to work on making carts and stuff. Hopefully I'll see you guys later. Come back and see me if you ever need some more carts." He's like, that luxury liner 4000 or whatever I called it before. That's been sitting here for months. I can't get rid of it. If you guys want to come back and buy it, it'll probably be here.
I'm sure it will be.
All right.
I will be pleased to not see your face again. Let's just get the hell out of the city.
Aye, it's
All right. You guys have horses. You guys have carts. You guys have business that needs handled in Crystal Shoals. Is there any last minute business that you guys want to attend while you're still in the city before you embark on your short little journey?
I think I'm all good as Valen.
I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, you go ahead and you tie up your dinky little cart to your dinky little horses. it's very humbling experience. And you guys load up with your food. You load your crates of food in the back, and you begin to set off on your journey north. You follow the road up north, and we'll go back to this scene so you guys have a more visual representation. So you guys start your journey up this northern road right there. So with that, we're going to go ahead and, for the first time, play with our simple travel system. So while you guys are on the road, it's going to be a 3-day journey. With horses, it's a 1-day journey. So I would say that takes your journey down from probably a trek down to a jaunt. You guys skimmed a whole day and a half off the journey. So that naturally is going to be 10 food rations right off the bat. If we want to go ahead, would it be fun if we went and let you guys roll for your weather effects and all your stuff? Or do you want me to just roll for you?
No, we should roll it, 'cause then it's our fault if something bad happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys are on your journey. It starts and it's clear weather. But as you guys are progressing, Tara, why don't you go ahead and roll a d4 to determine weather condition?
That's gonna be a 2.
So it's perfectly clear weather. You guys don't experience any sort of turbulent weather whatsoever. It's a really beautiful ride through this. Or wait, hold on. I was reading from the wrong table. Actually, hold on.
Oh, fuck.
Roll a d8 for me, please. 4.
Which is a 4.
So it starts off as clear weather, but then it becomes a little bit cloudy, which adds a 20% food consumption. And then you guys aren't traveling through any sort of desert, arid, or mountain tundra. So you guys don't have to worry about rolling on those tables. Last but not least, I need one of you guys to roll for your situational encounters.
So that would be 12 food rations.
Yes, exactly. Currently at 12 food rations. So yeah, which one of you wants a roll? There's only 2 rolls this trip, so sorry. You guys will have to fight over it.
I could roll it. What dice do I need to roll?
A d20.
Alright, there we go. 2.
All right. You guys successfully make your journey all the way to Crystal Shoals with just a slight bit of cloudy weather, but you actually don't run into anybody on the road this time. And with that, you guys are journeying kind of through these palm trees, and you see the sandy beaches. The further you get closer to Crystal Shoals, the beaches become like more white and bright, and the water is more like. Let's see. There it is. All right. As you approach the Crystal Shoals, the journey behind you fades into insignificance compared to the breathtaking view that unfolds. This quaint town nestled against a stunning coastline where sandy beaches glisten with sprinklings of crystal beads, making the shore shimmer like a jeweled tapestry under the sun. Towering palm trees sway gently alongside lush ferns and robust jungle trees, creating a vibrant green canopy. The air filled with the songs and calls of colorful birds who dot the tree line. The cool blue waters of the ocean are clear as glass, offering a serene backdrop to the town's naturalistic architecture. Buildings crafted from clay rise with thatched roofs, blending seamlessly into the tropical paradise. At the heart of Crystal Shoals, a large peninsula juts confidently into the sea, crowned by an imposing pyramid-like keep. This majestic structure watches over the town and beachfront, a silent guardian of this idyllic, resort-like haven. The charm of Crystal Shoals, with its blend of natural beauty and rustic elegance, promises a peaceful and enchanting experience. Welcome to Crystal Shoals, everybody. It smells beautiful. There's birds flying. The beaches are just so beautiful. They're just so... If you guys haven't been here, you're in shock of how beautiful this place is.
My goodness. I've never seen beaches like these over in Adoria.
No, the Empire knows how to make them.
You guys notice as you walk in the city for the first time, your necklace starts to beep, just very, very faintly.
By the looks of that, I imagine our druid is here in town, in the forest to the south. I was getting confused when it hadn't gone off yet. Well, if that thing's supposed to beep as we get closer.
I never spent time actually in Crystal Shoals, but yeah, this through the sight to the eye.
Alright, well, do we want to make our way to either the inn, perhaps the local guild, to see if I've heard of this druid character?
Yeah.
Might as well have a look at it.
Let me ask you actually, is Twala's pendant like ringing or like makes noise, like warm something?
Yeah,
like
because
that?
I'm holding on to the pendant. Is it making any noise as I'm thinking of them?
So you're thinking of them, and it's beating softly like a heart. And as you guys kind of wander through the town area, you notice that the pendant doesn't really increase in heartbeat within the city, but along this western road right here, you did notice that it started beating a little faster.
It is beating a bit faster than
Yeah.
before.
We are on the right lead then.
I believe so, yes.
Let's like just follow the pendant and its signals, and we should find the druid.
So as you guys are like sitting there taking in the sights of the city and figuring it out, this guy, you see him walk down to you, and he's drunk, obviously drunk. He's wearing like little swim trunks, and he got this big old fat elven gut hanging over it, and he's just like, "Woo, party!" And he comes over to you guys. It's like, "Are you here to party?"
What kind of party?
He looks and he goes, "Man, every day in Crystal Shoals is a party." And then he goes, "Woo, party!" And he's like all just rambunctious about it. And he's like, "You guys don't look like you're dressed for the shoals." He looks over at Valen's like dark black robe, and he's like, "Man, aren't you hot in that thing?" He like looks, he's like, "You guys are from around here, huh? Who are you guys? What's your deal, huh?" Like sipping on a mug of ale or something.
Yeah,
you're
just searching for a person.
Hey,
Oh, I love searching for people. Who are you searching for?
Not someone worth of mention. Like just someone that is dear to us.
Oh, well, I hope they're here to party then. He's like, I don't really know anybody. I've been drunk this whole time. I probably won't even remember us having this interaction. But you know who does? the lady that runs the inn. She seems to know everybody. And he like burps and stumbles, and he's just like, if I were you, I'd probably go ask her. And then he burps again. He's just
Hey,
like,
I see.
he goes, for me, I'm gonna go and party later. And he just starts running up the street being obnoxious. Goes over to the beach.
You may want to get used.
God damn it. Oh, this will be long. This will be a long day searching for Valetta.
Well, at the very least, he did confirm the inn would be the place to start, and it is on the western side of. Shall we?
Sure. Is inside the town, because I remember that. It was say that he should be on the jungles, circling. But yeah, let's head to the inn, and we can check it later.
All right. So we all want to head to the inn?
Yep.
One thing you guys might notice upon us going into these places is that the tokens might look a little bit different than what we're used to. I was using Hero Forge for all of our tokens thus far, I guess except for the generic NPC ones. But when it comes to like creating monsters and stuff like that, it's very, very limited to what I can do. So I've started employing the help of like AI to help me create some tokens, and it's been pretty fruitful. So as we go through this little jaunt in Crystal Shoals, all the tokens are going to be instead created using Photoshop. Or not Photoshop, AI. But that being said, now that I'm breaking from the whole like Hero Forge thing a little bit, if you guys would have a different token that you'd rather have me use, let me know and I can make like a new little one for you or upload the one you have. So yeah. But as you step into the Crystal Shoals Inn, the cozy ambience instantly envelops you. The interior has a distinct coastal charm, its walls adorned with fishing nets that drape like fine lace, intertwined with an assortment of seashells and starfish. Behind the bar stands an elderly and not elf woman, her silver hair shimmering like moonlight on water. Her eyes, deep and knowing, sparkle with the wisdom of the ages, yet her smile is warm and welcoming. The subtle scent of salt and sea mixes with the aroma of hearty meals and fine ale. All right.
Quite a change of view. The harbor.
She notices you come in. She says, "Oh, hello, travelers. Welcome to Crystal Shoals. Let me guess,
Hi,
you're here to
Daisy.
party?
Not exactly.
Oh, I'm not
Maybe
used to
if
that.
time allows for it.
Well, whatever you're here for, I got liquor on deck to supply all your party needs. Let me know if there's anything you guys..."
Oh, yes, ma'am.
No, please. I will not sit here. I will sit here. And Tara, can you move down a little bit so you'll be next to Vaden? Thanks. Induce my ship. Yes, thank you.
There's not even a stool here.
Sure there is.
What that's about, but we're actually trying to find some. We heard that you know most people in the area.
She says, "Well, as the last inn around here, I do know a lot of folks, especially all the folks that are too poor to afford rooms or drink at the resort. But yeah, I know a decent amount of folks. Who are you looking for?"
That's Gucci.
In the search of a relatively newer visitor, it may have come, goes by the name Valetta. Might look, I don't know, woodsy, one might say.
As you say his name, she's like holding glasses or whatever, serving people, and she like kind of trips up, like she wasn't expecting you to say that name, and she looks over and she goes, What did you say? I don't know of any sort of person by that name. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, have a nice day. Good luck with that." And she walks away kind of nervously, turns her back to you guys, and goes about her business.
So he's definitely here.
Yep, he's definitely here.
I don't know who this guy is, but he has this list of every woman we talk.
I don't know, maybe he's really hot.
He's a druid. Maybe he's a bear. All right. Well, unless we intend to interrogate the old, at least confirm that he's probably around here somewhere. Well,
Yeah,
if we're
yeah.
asking around.
I don't think that the innkeeper will give us any information, at least not out of goodwill. So yeah, we have dependents. We don't have to ask questions. Like most people will not answer or will not be comfortable with the question. Let's just follow dependents and see what we can find.
She overhears you talking about a pendant, and as you guys speak of the pendant, her like tone kind of changes, and she looks over. She goes, What do you know about those pendants? Who are you people?"
We promised Twala we'd help.
You say
Oh,
Twala's name, and her eyes get
it
soft,
seems
less weary. She goes, "Twala," and she's just like, "Wait a minute, you're not working for the Empire, are you?" And she looks around. She's like, "Not
Absolutely
that that
not.
would be a bad thing."
absolutely not.
No.
Totally not.
Turns to you, and she just goes, "Then why are you here? Where's Twala?"
Twala's running her bakery,
She's
and
safe in harbor.
Oh, I told her just to leave it be. Now she sends you after him. I knew this was a bad idea.
we're trying to clear his name before others come looking for him. But we can't do that without knowing what happened.
She looks at you guys and she goes, "I mean, pretty much the entire city of Moon Harbor knows what happened. He tried to help a group of wild folk, being, the great man that he always was, and the Empire ended up getting mad at him and exiling him, and that's why." And then she stops herself and she's like, "I really can't say anymore."
They're blaming him for the curse that's befallen Moon Harbor.
She says, "The curse, so it is real." And as you say that, these people kind of like start tuning into your conversation, and she goes, "Listen, keep it down. Keep it down. This is a nice place, and I don't want to start scaring people, but there has been rumors of something happening in Moon Harbor, and well, folks here in Crystal Shoals have been experiencing something similar as well." He said they're blaming him. What are they saying?
So it is spreading. God damage.
They're saying that he caused it, that he cursed the city when he fled.
Oh, that's absolutely ridiculous. He's a powerful mage, but he's not that powerful. That's like Viserys powerful. No way he could ever do something like that. Or would he ever want to do something like that? That's just
Hey,
absolutely
just-
ridiculous, she says. She slams down her drink and she's all frustrated. She says, "How do I know that I can trust you guys? How do I know that you're just not spies for the Empire? I've already said so much. They'd have my head for this."
Yeah, I'm not sure how to prove myself to you in this circumstance. I mean,
She said, she looks at you and goes, "I mean, a good persuasion roll might do it."
oh well, let me.
That might be one way.
I mean, truly, do I look like someone who would be serving the Empire? Ugh, could be better.
She says, "I mean, I don't know. The Empire is recruiting all sorts of weird, colorful characters these days." And then what'd you just roll? You rolled just straight charisma?
It's persuasion.
Oh, was it here? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oof.
God damage.
She says, "Listen, I don't know. Hold on, let me think. I used to fight for the Empire back in the day, so I have very intense loyalty ties to them. I can't go around willingly betraying the Empire. I could lose my entire inn." She's like, "But what I will tell you is that Locket will take you the rest of the way." She says, "The only thing I will say is in the jungle out west is where I would start looking."
Look, I also served the Empire back in my days, and you already say that you talk too much to us, and they will have your head. You can help us cleaning the name of Valeta, and then you would have nothing to worry about, or you can like just tell us nothing, and they will have your head anyway. Like, help us to help us to help you.
She's like, "Damn it, I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have said anything. Now I'm dragged into this too." She says, "Damn it, Leora. Why you always got to get yourself involved, especially with these magic druid folk? Turns back over and she says, look, I've already said too much. Good luck with your search, and I really do hope the best for Valletta. He is such a sweet man. He's always does so much for the community, and I just would hate to see him, I don't know, hunted down by the Empire like he has been. It's such a shame he has to be in exile. Turns, she's like, good luck on your quest, but I've already said too much. Doing her barmaid thing.
Right. I will turn to Valen, Terra, and Felix. Well, this did not work, so shall we head to the jungles to the west?
I'm not personally familiar with what we might worth swinging by the guild to see if there's a heads up on the kind of threats we might.
Perhaps there are some
Yeah.
folk who know what are in the jungle.
Yeah, that's in wide. We don't know the terrain. We don't know what to expect, and well, probably Valletta will not take lightly, like for us people going in search of him. But yeah.
Leora steps back up to the counter. And she's just like, hey, I know you guys are new around here, but just so you know, the guild, the Adventurers Guild, the keep, and the resort are all currently closed because your DM ran out of time to port the maps over. So if you want to go to those places, you can, but it'll just be imagination.
Well, out of character, my thought was like, and you mentioned there are a lot of side quests that we can find at the guild specifically. So I was like, if there happens to be a quest that's gonna take us out in that direction anyway, we might consider two birds, one stoning it and seeing what we can do out in that direction. If that stuff's not prepared, then we'll.
Yeah. I meant to have all of Crystal Shoals ready to go, but in the amount of time that I gave myself, I was able to just finish the jungle mission. So next time you guys play here in 2 weeks, the rest of it will be finished up. But yeah, we're kind of on a little bit of a restriction.
That's okay. We can just go hunt down a druid.
I like hunting down druids.
All right. Well, you guys sat down in the cozy inn and caught your breath and had a drink or whatever after a long journey here. But you have been given information that the western jungle is where a good place to start searching. But Leora does mention to you that the jungle is a dangerous place, especially for those in search of Valletta. So I would make sure that you guys are prepared before we set out.
I will ask you, Vaden, if he has enough Batuano, and I will ask him to not cast fireball in the midst of a jungle. Things might burn. Outside of that, we are good to go.
All right. Does everybody want to? So I have the shop done, but I guess you guys already shopped. Does anybody need to go to the shop and supply? Or are you guys good?
Nah.
I don't know if many of you guys have
Very good.
money. All right. So we leave the inn. Where's everybody at? There we go. We all leave the inn, and we want to start heading west.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Well, you guys set out on the western road. The jungle down this road is thick, unlike the jungle that you guys have experienced on your journey up the pristine coast. After a little bit of wandering through the jungle, you finally come across a large opening. It's beautiful, even though it's dense and thick. Bits of sky poke out and kind of illuminate the pathways. And then underneath the trees, it's just like a canopy of darkness and vines and almost impassable jungle. So that being said, here you guys are. What would you like to do?
Do you all want to go look at the tent over there? Looks kind of important.
Well, I guess as you guys are walking, the thing is starting to beat a little faster too.
Oh, right.
And just to let you all know, the pendant is beating a little faster.
Well, we're definitely on the right trail. Let's see if
Right.
there's anything left here. Maybe this was his campsite.
There seems to be a research note in here.
Did you want to check those crates, Tara?
Yeah, if they're available to look through.
You wouldn't even believe it. They are.
Woohoo!
Great.
All
Oh,
right. You find 3 glowstone in that crate. I'll drop it in your inventory.
okay.
Right. Wow.
All right.
It seems whoever was here and set up camp last found some kind of strange magic stone, but it's causing the animals to get a little rowdy.
Would you roll it just so it's on display for the?
Oh well. I wonder if what they are guarding is our friend Valetta.
I think that would make sense. Um, Valen, do you have the magic to speak with animals?
Wait, there is a magic to speak with them?
I've heard of such a spell, but I didn't really find that one to be very pertinent in everyday life, so it's not in my repertoire at the moment.
Well, we'll just have to do our best then.
Well, Felix, you being, you know who you are, can you speak with animals?
Unfortunately, I can't speak with any animals.
Yeah, we are on our own for now.
You guys are free to explore the thicket of the jungle.
I will go ahead because, fight. I will, like, scout ahead my big ass samurai sword, like, cutting through, like, the vines and the leaves and that sort of thing, like, to open up a path for us. The druids will probably hate me even more for it because of it now.
So as you guys start venturing through the jungle, in the distance you start hearing these peculiar cawing noises. And as you guys approach in the distance, you see all of these small little birds, sweet little birds like toucans, sitting around talking with each other. And then you see one swoop down as it's like attacking some sort of prey item on the ground, and it opens up its beak, and all of these teeth unfold from its beak, and it scoops this thing up. Its jaw opens almost at like a perfect 90-degree angle,
Oh,
swallows it up, and its beak closes up, and it goes back to looking like a cute little toucan.
that's
Oh,
predicament.
that's strange. That does not look good, and that's definitely not normal.
Maybe we can set up some bait?
Yeah, we have food. Set up some bait. Ah, porra.
All right. You kind of start chirping in the distance, and all of a sudden one flies and flaps down and kind of lands right in front of Jinshi. It lands and it's sitting on the ground, kind of looking at you. Not really attacking. It's doing the little bird thing where its head's bobbing back and forth, and it's just like looking up at you.
Oh, oh, what a cute little thing. I try to pet
It
the
steps
bird.
up. You try to pet it as you go down, and it looks up at you with that cute little bird face, and its eyes just go black, and it opens up its mouth and just makes this vicious, nasty scream that you've never heard before come out of a bird, and it goes into like an attack stance.
Oh, fuck.
Wait, careful now, careful.
Bad boy.
Uh,
You are not a good boy. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
and as it
Oh, fuck.
makes that noise, all the other ones snap into it and make that noise as well. All right, who's first? What is your movement speed? You have 30, but you okay. This guy looks at Jin Shi. Well, moves I even gave you. Oh, he looks at Jin Shi and opens up his nasty, mangled beak, bites at you with a latching bite. He does not hit. This other one comes. Oh, that's Jin Shi. This other one comes up. All right, Jin, now it's your turn.
Right. Well, I will. Well, since I was attacked, I will attack this little beautiful guy right here in front of me. Because yeah, that's it. I tried. I really tried. Yeah, I will get closer to him because it says it doesn't well, 10 feet away. Yeah, right here. And let's go. Attack. Normal.
Um,
12.
miss him just slightly.
Oh, I am not used to so small targets. And I will make my second attack because I am level 5 and I have made it again. Wow.
All right, Jin. Holy
Let me
smokes.
let me roll my d8.
Hold on. You also get a nat 20 as well.
Yep.
Oh, standard nat 20,
Ooh,
double damage.
Jesus Christ.
nice.
Poor little guy.
I love getting damage. Yeah. 21.
Slashing for 21. You chop him straight in half. What does that say? HP value must be an integer? What does that even mean? I go minus 21. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, he's dead. You chop him straight in half. Right down the beak.
And I will step right here and try, like with this gruesome display of like fashion display of power, I will try to intimidate the other birds. It will probably not work, but I'll try to make them flee, and that's it.
They kind of just look at you and get pissed off.
Yeah, father.
This one. This one. All right, Tara.
All right. I don't love what is happening. So I'm just gonna take a step up, and I'm going to. That's my character sheet. I am going to cast Bless. I'm gonna just upcast it to second level so I can get all 4 of us.
Okay.
And that will be second level and cast. And so we all have a d4 to add to attack rolls or saving throws. And I I take a step towards Valen, kind of pat him on the shoulder. It's your time to shine. Go, you've got this. Go on, and you can have a bardic inspiration.
Nice.
I don't know why, but that was inspiring. Unenthusiastic inspirations. Kind I'm most familiar with.
Oh, I totally forgot. I have to manually end my turn. I'm just gonna take another step back. I don't want to be closer to all of those teeth. Action, bonus action. We're good.
Okay. How close am I? With the newfound inspiration that he has, he will dart forward, drawing his rapier as he does. Yeah. And as he does so, he's going to like do a lunging thrust with the rapier and make a first attack again. Okay, so I've got a D4 to add to attack rolls and a bardic inspiration. So there is plus a D4. It's a 18
It does.
hit.
Yep.
All right, so that's going to deal 10 points of piercing.
All right.
And now that he's level 6, he officially has extra attack. And as a blade singer, he has the cool. So he's going to stab this bird, rip the blade out, and kind of do a flourish spin and do kind of a swiping motion at the adjacent bird this time, and attack with his greed.
All right.
So normal roll. What is it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. He is going to go ahead and so let me see if the damage still works. It's a normal attack. Okay, it's rolling a bunch of dice. Okay. So here is the piercing damage the guy takes,
Okay.
plus my dexterity, which is 4. So he'll take 9 piercing damage, but he will also take an additional 8 points of fire damage as well.
He burns. His little feathers light up in an inferno.
Perfect. And the flames will like a wave wash over towards the initial mangle, and he will take fire damage equal to another roll of a d8 plus my intelligence modifier, so he takes another 11 points of fire damage.
All right.
Ooh.
So you do that in a spectacular display. You burn those poor little mangle things. Little bird corpses laying on the ground, charring up.
Jinshi is like, show off.
All right, Jin. Was that your turn?
Yeah. With that, he'll just kind of flourish and get into like a defensive stance, waiting for the guys to come back at him. But that will end his turn.
All right, Felix.
I am gonna get next to Valen and hold action for an attack. And that will be my turn.
Okay. 5. This Megalbeak steps up to you, Felix, and is try to munch.
Do I get to use my held action?
I assume so, right? You get to use it as before something attacks you, as long as it gets within range, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna swing my new scimitar at it.
Ooh,
Does a 17 hit?
it does.
Nice. I will roll the damage and add another +2 because dueling. 11 slashing damage.
Slash him for 11, and it hurts him pretty critically, but he's not quite dead.
All right, then I'll make my extra attack with the scimitar. Does a 12 hit?
It does not. It just misses.
Did you add bless?
Add which or
You can roll a d4 because you're blessed and add it to the
Ooh,
12.
Yes, here.
To
Then
see if
I'll
that
do
makes a
that.
difference.
14.
14 hits.
All right. Then damage 10 slashing damage.
All right. You hit him for another 10 damage. This time, pierce right through his little bird body. Well, he's dead. All right, Jin, it's your turn again.
Let's go. All right. Well, seeing that my brave fellow frontline companions are in front line, I will take their example and I will come right here. Let me check there is swing. Well, right. And I will make one attack against this Manglebeak right here. Let's go. With my great sword. Oh wow.
That does not hit.
Yeah.
Roll a d4. There's a chance.
Oh, you
There's a
bless. Yeah.
chance.
I remember. There was a chance. Actually not. And I make my second attack against him. And
That hits.
nice. Then I will hit him for 16 damage.
All right. You smack him in his little mangled beak, and he keels over dead. You've killed him.
Right. Yeah. And with my bonus action, since I fell the creature, I will take a step right here and make one attack with a bonus action against this other mangled beak right here. Because I know how to use the hate of my sword. So yeah, let's make an attack with a bonus action for
That hits.
22. Right, then I will deal a total of 11 damage.
All right. You hit this mangled beak for 11 damage. And hurt him pretty bad.
Right, then I will take an opportunity attack. Oh well. Right, I will come back here. You can make an opportunity attack if you.
Yes, he does. As you walk away. Oh, before you walk away, I guess he has to make his attack first, otherwise it won't let me do
Yep.
it. So I'll move you back up there. He's gonna make his bite. Woo, baby!
Oh fuck. Right.
All right. So
Disarm.
as you walk away, he disarms you. His attack still hits. Why does it say? So you take 4 points of piercing damage.
Right.
And you go over there, but your weapon falls on the ground, right about there.
Oh fuck.
What's
Right.
what? Your Joybringer's great, or no, your great sword, I guess, because that's what when you're holding.
Yeah, my long sword, and I will take my long sword because every samurai has like that kind of like two swords kind of thing.
2, 3,
grab my
4, 5. He's gonna walk up to Jin Shi, and he's going to look at little Jin, and he's gonna take a little bite. I think that hits, right? No.
No, my AC is 17 because
No.
I bought SKU mail.
All right, that doesn't hit.
Sprint mail actually. Yep.
This mango beak right here comes over, and he comes up to Jinshi's great sword and picks it up in his mouth, and then turns around and uses the rest of his 2 movement to fly off with his
Hey!
sword in his mouth.
Oh, get me that thing back! Oh,
And that's his turn. This one comes
give
down,
give my sword back.
and he looks at Jinshi as well, and he is going to bite. It hits.
Yep.
So not only does he bite you and he damages, but he is now latched on. He is his
nice.
jaw hardens up and he just digs into you. For what was that? 8 damage. This mango beak, 1, 2, or 5. He steps up and also makes an attack at Jinshi. He is going to use his latching bite. He does not hit. But because this one attacked you, the one that was latched onto you, which is this little guy right here, he uses his reaction to do a latched mangle, and his body just starts flailing around, ripping apart your arm. Oh, I guess I have to roll an attack roll before. He hits you no matter what because he's latched on.
Yeah, he's latching to me. Right. Sure.
But him flailing around does 2 damage to you. All right, Tara.
All right, I'm just gonna take a couple of steps closer. Yeah, and I'm gonna not call out to the bird, but just I'm speaking loudly about the bird. I'm casting vicious mockery at it, and at the one that is trying to run off with Jinshi's weapon, and see if I can't slow it down at least.
Thank you.
Just oh my god,
Yep.
those
What?
teeth are atrocious.
Here's your weapon. It's right there.
Hey,
Oh, it's a saving
Hey.
throw. With saving throw.
Hey, that's my sword. You are talking about.
He's gonna make his saving throw. Yeah, he's not gonna hear a word you say. He is beelining it with Jinshi's sword.
Well, Jinshi, my friend, I think you're gonna have to get your sword back from that one. But I'm sure you can handle a bird, and that was my encouragement as I'm giving you a bardic inspiration.
Thank you for your kind words, Tara.
All right. Okay. Well, in the midst of the turmoil that Jinshi is currently in the middle of, Valen's just going to turn him and ask, bird or sword? Was that an answer?
It was for me. I was away for a time.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Can you say that again? Please?
Yeah, he's asking bird, gesturing to the one currently latching and gnawing at you, or sword, and points to the bird that's taking your sword away.
Sword, totally sword.
All right, as you wish. And with that, he'll lower the rapier, and with his other hand, he'll kind of curl it in front of him, do some like signs, and these little sigils, almost Doctor Strangey like, begin to kind of form around his hand in this like light blue color. And he'll hold his palm out, and from different little symbols around the circle of light that's kind of formed as this magic is being cast, 4 darts are going to just erupt from them and fire and like almost like homing beacons hunt down this fleeing bird as he casts magic.
All right.
So let's see how this works. Okay, it's gonna roll the 1. I don't know why it's pink. Oh, because the spell is pink, maybe.
Probably.
So it's got, I believe it's 3 darts, right?
Yeah, it's 3 darts, I think, unless you have.
So
the
so he
5.
will take 12 points of damage as a first level spell.
Oh man, all 4 of the darts fly at the poor little mangle beak. And the last one hits him and does just enough damage where he falls to the ground dead. Jinshi's sword falls over here. It's like clink, 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 clink. It falls in the ground. All right.
I've done my
I
job.
will Apple will do a nice signal for Rayleigh. Nice.
I am gonna swing my scimitar at this one mangle beak over here that I have targeted. Does a 17 hit?
It does.
Alright, and I'll roll the damage. Ooh, 14 slashing damage.
Oh, you hit him for 14 slashing damage, and this mangle beak falls over dead.
Alright, then I'm gonna take
Oh, sorry. Oh, I gotta go all the way back. Hold on. All right.
I'll take Jinchi's side then and take on this Manglebeak right here with my extra attack. Now, this is 17 hit.
It does.
All right, damage and 12 slashing damage.
Ooh, you hit this one for 12 damage as well, and it's just enough to kill it.
Nice. This one right here is still latched on to Jinchi, right? Here, hang on. I want to see something.
This little body's just hanging there.
I can't attack, so I'll just look over the Jinchi and say, "Oh, I'll go get your sword, lad. Give me 1 moment." 25. All right, that's as far as I can go, and I will end my turn there.
That's as far as I can go. All of this, one thing he should know.
So there's only one more mangle beak, and he is dangling from Jinshi's arm or shoulder or something. It is your turn too, Jin.
Oh, because it's not a ring here. But I will, try to give him a slap. I will pick my hand and slap him out of my shoulder.
Okay.
I will use like the long sword roll, but
So because he's latched on and you're at this weird angle, you're probably gonna have to do it with disadvantage.
oh fuck, right.
You're like has a big long sword trying to poke it. Oh, ooh, damn.
Right.
Well, you do. You stab it straight through his little bird body.
No, it's a slap. I'm slapping him with my bare hand.
He's
So for total of damage, it is 1 plus my strength modifier. So it is 6 damage on like my open and bare hand.
You slap him open and bare hand, smack, and as you do, his jaws unlatch and he falls on the ground, does a little spin, and then is
Just
dead.
like
Yeah.
just like a mosquito, or that sort of thing.
Exactly. Well, there you go. As the battle kind of comes to an end, there's peace once again, as nothing's trying to gnaw on your arm.
Well, that could have gone worse.
Yeah, that was not exactly what I call a warm, a reception, but I think it will only get it worse the closer we get to the druid, Valletta.
Yeah, that was my fear as well, actually.
Well, that journal mentions that the animals are acting strange. So I think that this is what we can expect from now on.
Well, you guys are going to keep moving along your journey through the jungle. However, it is about 10:20, and it is our wrap-up time. And this
Sure.
jungle goes a little bit further.
Right.
So, that being said, I think this is where we're probably gonna go ahead and wrap it for tonight. But this is the first time that you guys are ending a game in a place like a foreign place. So I'll leave it up to you as the players. Do you guys want to do a long rest right now or not? And if so, if you do want to do a long rest, you guys will just have to consume a portable. I think is what I called it.
Okay.
Or you guys
Yeah.
cannot. You guys can just keep on trucking as you are as well.
Should probably wait before he does.
There is no need.
You guys can take a short rest if you want to. Yeah, long rests.
I mean,
I don't see point in doing that, but
Might as well use the short rest first.
do you guys want to even short rest, or are we good just carry on?
I am good to go.
And then we'll get going.
Well, there are a bunch of Manglebeak bodies on the floor. Did you guys want to loot those before we go ahead and close it down?
Sure.
I don't know how many mango beaks I did. 2, 3,
There's
4, 5.
8. No, wait, 9? Yeah, there's 9, so we can each get 2. One person can get a third one.
All right. Who wants who wants the one with 3? Let's do that first.
I mean, if no one else hears much, I'll take the third one. Just to...
All right. Valen, you're gonna loot 3 of them little joints. That's what you get.
Your blood.
All right. Next we're going to roll 2 more for
Me.
you. Pick this up from them.
Kitchen, cutting, and water bowl. Right. All right.
All right, and then next, I guess we will go with, I don't know, Felix. Felix is gonna loot him up, and he is going to find. And then last but not least, who is it? Tara?
Yes.
All right, Tara, find all that. All right, now they're all looted. Jinshi's sword is still laying on the ground.
Oh my god. I look at my sword.
I
Where is my goddamn sword?
think it's right here. Here, I'll put it back in your inventory. There you go.
I know you are
And
here,
it's-
Mango Beef, you big fucking nerd. Where is my goddamn great sword?
Pick it up. It's laying right next. All right. Well, with that, let me go ahead and bring down the recording real quick. Thank you guys for playing. As always, thank everybody at home for watching. If you guys watch our stuff, that's pretty cool. We appreciate it. What a fantastic session 5. And we will see everybody on the next one for session 6.